Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I've actually got a question for you, and that is, what the hell am I supposed to focus on? I don't know. I feel like a squirrel chasing a nut. I don't know what's out there. I don't know what I should or shouldn't be doing. Look at all these events. Fury, Miss Marvel, Scarlet Witch and Miss Marvel, Relic Hunt. You know, a couple weeks ago it was, I think it's actually, the first time it started, I believe, was July 4th when the Rocket event came out. I think it was Rocket, Relic Hunt, and I want to say one or two, Star-Lord, and then another one. And it seems to, the trend has seemed to continue, where there's just, you know, a lot of shinies all over the place, and it's just like, where do I spend my resources and where do I focus my time? I know I personally am struggling with that, and I'm guessing everybody else is too, unless you are a giant whale or kraken who's got everything already and you're not worried about it. You know, I just showed you those events. You know, if you're raiding, it's, you know, let's just go look at a Deadpool raid here real quick. Let's just go to the Scorcho. And, you know, hey, it's global, cosmic, global heroes. What's up here? City villains. Global heroes again. Global. You go to the other side. Cosmic goes across. You got city. Guardians and Ravengers. Global. Lots of global on this one, which is nice. But city. Cosmic. Here's global heroes. I think this is just global. And then when you get to the end, you've got global villains and global heroes. It's like, okay, great. All right, so I've got to get all those up too. And then I believe in Fuego, which is, you know, it's similar but slightly different. I think, yeah, it's regular nodes except for when you get the boss nodes, which is global heroes and then city heroes and city villains, which suck. We just skipped those nodes. Actually, we're focused on El Scorcho. But anyway, point is like, look at all the stuff I need to do. Oh, by the way, when Star-Lord and Iron Man come back, you know, what do I have to do there? I've got my different rosters. It's like, okay, so where's my shield team? Okay, I got, what am I got to get these guys all to 5 stars, you know, so I can get, you know, Iron Man. You know, you can see me, I'm sitting here. This is probably where I'm going to get his medic. I've already got it for Hawkeye. I'd love if it was Widow, but that's not happening. Trooper's a little bit further behind, so you know, and then you go, I didn't mean to get out there, and then you know, like I said, you got that event, the hand. All right, where are you at there? You know, I'm trying to get mine to 4-star. It's only a few days. I don't really see it happening. I'd love to. I'm gonna get a lecture up at these other two, and I'm not gonna pay $25 for 25 shards, which is absurd, but that's not for this video. Anyway, you get the point. There's a lot of different things that you can focus on. Oh yeah, and then campaigns. I didn't even say that yet. You know, it's like, so hey, you know, Mystic, Cosmic, etc. So, point of this video is for me to talk about if you're a new player, what I believe your priority should be, just to build your team, to get going, because if you get distracted, you will never build your team up strong enough where a raid alliance is going to pick you up. Because the first thing that they really start looking for is your strongest team power. If you don't know where that's at, wrong button there again, is you click on your icon up in the corner and you go here. You know, when people are recruiting, that's typically the only thing they look at least early on. Eventually it gets to, you know, collection power, and some people, depending how neurotic you are, and I am in this group, is you look at blitz wins, because to me that shows real activity. Even though people hate blitz, but I know that you're playing, or how much you're playing, depending on what your PID is. And just so you know exactly how long I've been playing since late May, so I'm not a launch player, I'm not a beta player. You know, my first number is 11. You can see that there's, you know, a couple commas in there. So that's who I am. You know, you kind of got an idea of what my roster is, a little bit, but you know, nothing outstanding, but it's strong, not too bad. So, you know, I've done a semi decent job of building things up, but I could be a lot better. You know, of course, the only way to really be better is if I spent money or really just left some things behind. You know, unfortunately, I couldn't because as things came up, I needed them. But, you know, Nebula, did I really need to bring her there at all? Probably not. As you can see, I decided I don't need to rank her up, which, by the way, that is something I advise everybody about, is do not rank up players that you don't think you're going to use. You know, I've got Black Panther sitting here. I'd love to level him. I can't. I just got cable. I need to level him, for a blaster challenge. But just the resources aren't there, and that's really what this is about. Is where are you at with the resources, and how do you focus on the things that you need to focus on? I'm sitting at about 200,000 gold. I'm typically under that. I'm typically around 20 or 30,000 because I've got to spend it. So anyway, let's get to the point here. So me, like I said, I think there's something I'm currently focused on. And this is my preference, but I also want to talk about what I think you should focus on as an early player. So I'm going to go to a little spreadsheet here that I put, and you can see that I've got 2 columns. I've got a from the start, and I've got currently. And what I did here is I color-coded this a little bit in an attempt to try to make it a little bit easier to understand. I know I've got some different colors and some different text colors, but the point of that is so like here you see Guardians and Ravagers. Okay, so well, where's that in my current ranking? So I've got it here. So you can kind of start mixing and matching a little bit from what I think at the start versus what I am currently doing. So from the start, I've got Heroes campaign and Villains campaign. Basically because you're forced to do that. There's no other options. You got to do it. You get your, Spider-Man, you get your Punisher, you get your Luke Cage. Personally, I think the only one worthy of all those of continuing to level is Spider-Man. And then you eventually get your medic and you get your trooper, which your shield medic and your shield trooper are now worthy of leveling. But prior to, you didn't really want to do that. You wanted to start getting to your night nurse right away. So anyway, those are the first 2 things you start leveling really is your heroes and your villains. And you do it so that you can get past certain campaign nodes so you can start farming and get XP and that kind of thing. In my opinion, the next thing you need to do is start building up your first A team, your raid A team. Like I said earlier, the strongest team power, your STP. I personally think you need to make sure you get Night Nurse and Captain America if you can for that team. Night Nurse is a no-brainer. You got to have her on a raid team, again, assuming she can play in the traded node. But back in the day before these traded nodes were around, she was a clear need for raids. Hopefully they add some healers for these other groups that are actually legitimate. As much as I love my Ravager Stitcher, he's not Night Nurse. So after that, to me, it was Arena and Blitz. As soon as you can get into Arena or Blitz, you want to start, pushing those. Arena, I've got it over here because it's cores. You want to get those cores. Obviously, you want to get the raid or the Arena tickets as well to farm those champions, characters, heroes. But I think as soon as you can, get an Arena. I also think as soon as you can, start building those Blitz teams. Now, at the start, you're going to be forced into the Blitz teams that you've got. You can't do anything about it. You're not going to have synergies, but you want to start thinking about them. You want to start blitzing because, in my opinion, Blitz is the best way to get character shards unless you want to drop a bunch of cash on this game. So you want to try to avoid spending money, Blitz more. Have more Blitz teams. You can see I've got A, B, C, D. For a second, let's just jump back to game so you can understand how much of a neurotic Blitz person I am. Actually, let's just go to Blitz here so you can see the teams I put together. I'm already done with this one, so this is the first team I've got in Blitz. I'm not going to go through each one of these, but you can see. So that's my first team, what I consider my A, and then this is what I consider my B team. All right, that's my next team. It's hand sentry there, and then I'll go to my C team, which I go way back up here to Vision, Rocket, Spider, Wolverine, and Scarlet Witch. That's my C team, and then let's go. And all of these I can win in tier 8 with, and that's the only reason I'm listing these. What was that? C. So this is D team. This team I sometimes struggle with in tier 8, but it wins. Okay, so it's a D team. I've actually got another team that I can win with, my Shield Minion team, and this is exactly how I set these guys up. Actually, I'm not, where is he at? These guys are always a pain because they're a little bit stretched out. Where is did I miss him? There he is. And my operative and my security. And just a little tidbit, I set these guys up this way so the trooper's right in between these two because everyone likes to attack your healer and your security taunts nonstop. So, is it E team, 5, 6 teams, and I've actually got some lower teams down here that are guaranteed or borderline guaranteed wins. But again, video's not about that. So anyway, get your Blitz teams up. It's important, in my opinion, to get those going. If you want to see how I blitz, I've got several videos. They're longer, but you can check out kind of my strategy there. again, at the start of the game, then you start getting in some of these challenges. I have controllers and protectors just because you need those ability mats. I thought that was important early on, just to level those guys up if you've got them. And actually I should caveat all this for a second. I've got it, and I got this note right here, is that these priorities can change based on what characters you get. If you get a bunch of controllers and protectors, or let's say you don't get those, you get brawlers and support. Okay, well maybe you do that one first, or maybe you focus those over this guy. So I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying if you could. So anyway, make sure you factor that in, because if you don't get any of these guys and you get a bunch of blasters, then jump on that. Or if you get a bunch of mercs. And actually that's, I really struggled with, kind of this group here from hand catalyst, the controller ability mat and protector ability mats, because you really need all this stuff. In the game, I mean, gold by far is the biggest resource that you need. Everyone's gold starved, unless you're a whale that's been playing forever and you're sitting at 11 million gold or something. So, I mean, I myself since May have spent 75 million gold in the game. So that's, I think, a lot, but it feels like a lot. And I need, another 30 million more just to get up what I need to get up. There's a joke in that. Anyway, so the next one is, your blasters. Again, you need those for catalyst mats. I've got, my note here is you need a legit 5th blaster to really get that going. If you don't, it's tough. I'll get into the current what I'm doing here in a little bit. You got your hand for the catalyst. Catalysts are critical. Medical supply run for your brawlers and supports. I got Shield Iron Man. Your shield team for Iron Man. A little bit lower, just because again it's a legendary event. It only comes every once in a while, but you do get your shield minions pretty early on, so you can start building those. And then I've got your global, which is really just for your orbs on T9, but now raids. Originally I wouldn't even have those on there. Same with City, I wouldn't have had those on there. And even with Cosmic, I wouldn't have had that on there. So, but eventually you got to start getting those. And then your Mystic campaign, I've got that later because it's just it's a campaign that's kind of down the road. And actually, the Cosmic's got a campaign node there too. I didn't pick that up on this, but. And then your Guardians and Ravagers for Star-Lord, and then last but not least your Kree for Nick Fury, because let's be real, nobody's getting their Kree. So anyway, and one I also should note that this list excludes your combos, your city heroes, your city villains, which is basically your hand. It also excludes your special events, where you have, I do have city here, but they might come up with something different that I don't, whatever. So those things are, again, more shinies that get thrown at you. They're the quickest thing to distract you from whatever this list shows. And each person's going to have to make a decision on, do I want this character? How is this my best chance to get this character and get the shards? If it is, you kind of want to hope to have those characters build up. And it'd actually be really nice if we had some sort of schedule, or at least, a 3 to 6 week notice on when those events are coming and what we're going to be needing for them. Same thing with the raids. That's something that I think that Fox Next could do a lot better on, because let's be real, you can't really level some of these things up in a week or two, of course, unless you spend money, which is why I'm not anticipating Fox Next telling us, because they are a business and they're not doing it to be malicious, but they're a business. So anyway, okay, so what am I doing? I'm focused on Arena. Reason being, and shortly I've got to get out of this video so I can go do this. I've got, all right, I'm at 17 at the moment with 2 attempts. The reason for that is you got to get, everyone needs cores. I also want these tokens to be farming at the store. So, I try to sit in this 6 to 50 range. I'd love, obviously, to be higher, but it's gotten tough in my group here. I don't know if any of you guys are watching this or in this group, but it's a solid squad if you're in here. So, we all pretty much trade places. This Detonate I see in Global quite a bit. He's always in the top 5, 6, 7. Maybe sometimes he drops just because people are poking him around. But and then the store, Mordo, that's who I'm farming right now. And then besides that, Shield Security, just to have a shield and get him up for my Shield minion team. So like I said, that's why I'm focused Arena. Next, Guardians and Ravagers. The reason I'm doing that is because that Guardians team and Star-Lord are some of the it's one of the best teams in the game. And also, like I'd mentioned before, I just so happen to have a decent, did I skip my, there I wish those were in alphabetical order, by the way. It's super annoying they're not. I happen to unlock Groot. So I've got, you know, these guys are all 5-star, so I need 2 more 5-star. So, you know, I've got Groot at 4, and I keep doing that. And I've also got Yondu at 4, I believe. Let's see, where's my Ravagers? Yeah, so I've got my Ravager at 4, or my Yondu at 4. So, you know, and obviously you can farm these guys a bit easier. I am not an advocate for farming minions to get, you know, legendary characters, because I don't really care about these minions. I know Fox Next wants us to. I don't. I'm not going to put a boomer in any real blitz team unless it's a lower tier one, or any raid team. Of course, that's probably going to be something they show in the future, is you can only have minions on these nodes, which is going to be infuriating. But anyway, so that's why I'm doing that. Next, Hand Catalyst. The event's coming up. You know, in the next few days, I need Catalyst bad. I'm currently working on, you know, I'll just show you here for a second and get back to all. You know, I've got all of these guys I've got Catalyst for, and I'm trying to get Crossbones to tier 11. You know, and he got 5, so, you know, 8, you know, 42. What's my math there? Is that right? Advanced Catalyst for just 1 piece of gear. You know, and it's I've got others that I can just fill in. You know, all these I can pick. But, you know, I really want to get him to T11 just because he's on multiple teams of mine. Mercs Gold, that's obvious. I'm at tier 4, right? Or I'm about to be at tier 4. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I heard that was a really tough node, but, you know, I spent the money to get there, so we'll see. Hopefully it pays off. I'll probably just fight it until I eventually beat it. Hopefully for some lucky RNG. Already talked about the blitz teams. So I've always got those high because I'm pushing the shards. My raid team's pretty solid. It obviously varies, but it used to be, you know, it was Gamora, Cap, Crossbones, Night Nurse, and then, you know, now it was Yondu, but now it's either Yondu, Vision, Black Widow, Quake, some kind of version of something like that, depending on the node. And then Shield, again, get to Iron Man. I'm almost there, so I'm kind of keeping an eye on that. Blasters, I'm on my last challenge there, so I need to get those guys to 65. So I've got a ways to go for these guys, as you can see. Rocket's pretty solid, Winter's okay, but none of these guys. And then it's Wasp, and it's like, ugh, I'm not gonna level her up more, even though I can 4-star her now. I don't think that's, you know, well, maybe it's gonna have to cut it because Cable's only 2 stars, and I'm not farming that anytime soon. So maybe, I mean, that might be what I have to do, is just stick it out with those blasters and hope she can survive and to get a 3-star in that, you know, final Catalyst node. So I might have made that decision just now as I'm talking to you guys. But, and then again, Global, City, Cosmic, these are all related to the final challenge tiers, and then raids. Mystic campaign, I'm just not focused on those right now. There's just so much other stuff to do. As much as I'd love to farm that, any of the shards in there, I need mats more than I need shards right now, even if it's Doctor Strange, who I really want bad. Medical supply run, yeah, I'd want more, but I don't really care that much to get my brawlers and supports that much stronger. Only reason Nick Fury moved up is because I'm done with those 3. So otherwise he'd still be at the bottom. So anyway, that's how I'm prioritizing. You know, everybody's different. That was how things fell into place for me. You know, if you've got any ideas, and, you know, these things will probably change next week if the hand event goes away. I'll probably, you know, I'll drop that lower. Probably much lower, to be honest with you, because I'm not about to go, you know, it's probably going to be somewhere in this range, because I'm not going to work on 5-star in my hand anytime soon. It's going to just happen organically. So, and actually the Mercs one will probably, you know what? No, the all drop, because I'm going to need Deadpool, you know, because, and just, you know, I'll show you my Mercs team here, and this is one of the things that, you know, I really struggled leveling this team up, was I wasn't going to level any of these guys to 4-star if I was capable. I want, you know, Deadpool 4 stars. Well, now with the rewards being adjusted in his raid, I got him to 4 stars. So, you know, I've got these other guys at 4, so I'm probably going to have to level these guys up a little bit to be able to beat, especially the Riot Guard. He's probably the one I need to get him probably to 9,000-10,000 before I can really do that tier 4 Mercs challenge. And then I've probably got to get my Merc Lieutenant up a little bit. So, you know, that one will pop up there as soon as the hand catalyst one. I get those guys to 4 stars. So anyway, I hope this helped. You know, if you've got comments or suggestions or what you're doing, please leave them below. And again, if you like this video or you want to see more like it, please click that subscribe button as well as that like button, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks.